Jayadvija Patni Jaya Naga Kanyaga Bhakti Te Jahara Paila Govinda Chara.
So this tree here behind me is a Kadamba tree. Krishna has many lilas, a Kadamba tree. In Nandagram there's Ter Kadamba, where Rupa Goswami did his bhajan kutir. So why does Krishna like the Kadamba trees?
Because it reminds Radharani.
Kadamba tree has a very smooth bark, very smooth trunk, skin. It reminds Krishna of Radharani. And Krishna's tamal tree. Tamal tree is very rough, very rough, and it has full of thorns. Tamal tree has thorns, and it's very rough, and it makes fruits. Tamal makes fruits and they're poisonous. Kadamba makes flowers, yellow flowers, that are the color of Radharani. So Krishna likes the tree because the flowers are the color of Radharani, and flowers smell very beautiful like Radharani's transcendental form. So why is it this tree is the same tree that Krishna climbed to this tree when he was a young boy and jumped into the Yamuna River to vanquish the Kaliya serpent? Why is the tree still standing today?
Because of the nectar.
Because it's transcendental. That's also true, but there's a reason why it's still here today.
Krishna fed nectar.
Krishna touched it and turned into nectar. Just like you. Krishna's holy name touches your heart turns into nectar. Right? Wrong. Something like that. What happened was that Garuda, who's Garuda? Vishnuvahan. The carrier of Vishnu is Garuda. So Garuda came here once to Yamuna to go fishing. Because he's eagle. Eagles eat fish. It's their lunch. So he came here, had lunch, and he sat in this tree. But that particular day, he had carried the nectar pot from the Kir Samudra Mantan. The churning of the milk ocean. He carried some of the nectar from that churning of that milk ocean. Amrit. Amrit means no mrityu. Amrit means no mrityu. Mrityu means death. So there was no death. So he carried some of that in his beak, and he dropped a few drops on this tree of Amrit, and the drops of Amrit made the tree immortal. So this tree is 5,249 years old. Exactly. Pretty old. So he's seen a lot. He's one of the great Kalpavriksha trees of Vrindavan. So when we do Parikrama, we'll do 3 times Parikrama, because he's a great Vaishnava, a great Param Bhakta. And we'll touch our heads to this tree and pray for the tree blesses us with Radha Krishna Prem Seva and Goloka Vrindavan. So, why did Kali was living in Fiji, and Garuda attacked Kali to eat it for lunch? Because Garuda had an arrangement with the king of Fiji, the king of Brunadev, that every week they would make offerings to Garuda, fish offerings. But one day, Kaliya, the snake Kaliya, said, "Why should we offer these fish to Garuda? I should eat them." And he was greedy. So greed is not good. So Kali ate all of Garuda's fish, and Garuda got angry. So you ate my lunch, you bum. So Garuda attacked Kaliya. And then Kali was in danger, he was afraid. So then Kaliya didn't know what to do. He's hiding from Garuda, and he heard from the from the CNN Snake News. Kali heard from the CNN News channel that in Yamuna and Vrindavan there was a great sage living named Sobari Rishi. Sobari Rishi was living inside the Yamuna. He was a mystic yogi. He lived under the water, so his body looked like the bottom of a boat. His body was covered with barnacles, little bumps and seashells and all kinds of little wild seaweed and everything. He blended in with the ocean. You see some paintings of it. I've seen some Russian boys made paintings of Sobari Rishi. It looks really cool. He looks like some troll or something. He's covered with seaweed and some human barnacles, a little white shell, all shells all over his body. Looks really wild, like some ghost or something. The ghost from the lagoon. So he was under the water, and once Garuda came to eat fish in the Yamuna, and the fish went to Sobari Rishi and said, "You're a Rishi, you have Shakti, you have power, protect us from Garuda." So Sobari Muni said, "I have so much Tapa, I have so much power built up by my tapasya, that if Garuda comes here to eat any fish, I curse Garuda to die here on the spot." So Garuda said, "Wow, I'm not going there. I'm not going to go fishing there anymore." So Garuda didn't, after he came here one time, that was in previous Yuga, in Dwapara Yuga, he didn't come here because of this benediction to the fish in the Yamuna by Sobari Rishi. So on CNN Snake News and broadcast Fiji, Kalia heard that on the news that if you go to Yamuna, Garuda won't attack you. So that's why Kalia moved from Fiji, which is in the Polynesian South Pacific Islands, somewhere, Fiji, Singapore, all that stuff, wherever. He came here and lived here in a lake inside Yamuna. So he was happy here. But the thing is, he was not an ecologist. Kali was not into ecology. He was a polluter. He was doing heavy water pollution because he didn't have any septic tanks or any sewage system. So all his raw sewage was going into the Yamuna. And he had poisonous breath. Like some people. But he would exhale from his mouth and fire would come out. Fire and poison. So this area of the Yamuna was all poison. All the fish were dying from Kalia's poison. So Krishna heard about there's some major water pollution going on in the Yamuna. So and all the cows would drink the water and they would die on the spot. Birds would fly over the Yamuna, and there was so much gases and poisonous gases coming to the Yamuna, the birds would tumble into the Yamuna and drown. All the trees on the bank of the Yamuna, except this Kalama tree, they all dried up and died. Heavy pollution. Air pollution, water pollution, earth pollution, just by Kali. So Kali represents the personification of pollution. The main pollution of Kali was envy. Envy is a pollution. Pollution of the mind and heart is envy. Watch out for envy. It's very sneaky. Envy sneaks up like a python. You're sleeping under a tree in the summertime, a python sneaks up and it swallows you silently. You don't even know it. So death doesn't make noise. Death comes silently and surely for everyone, you and me and everyone. Death comes and swallows you. Chop. Khatam ho gaya. Haribol. So Kali was here, and then Krishna came, and of course he vanquished him, and it was a great lila. And Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanat Goswami explains some interesting things about Kaliya. When Yashoda and all the Brajvasis heard that Krishna was tied up in the snake's hoods of Kaliya, they all came down here and they saw Krishna wrapped up like tied up with ropes and Kaliya. And now they show us, oh, Kaliya. She fainted on the spot. And all the Rohini, everybody fainted. All the gopis, everyone fainted, except Balaram. Balaram didn't faint because he knew who Krishna was. He didn't forget. So then, Krishna was vanquishing Kaliya, and then he was tired of dancing on Kaliya, because when Krishna dances, it's more fun to dance to your girlfriend than dance to a snake. Usually. But your girlfriend can get a little snaky sometimes. So you may prefer to dance to a snake that night. But usually your girlfriend doesn't become too snaky. Maybe sneaky, but not snaky. So what did Krishna do? Krishna wanted to dance with the gopis. It's one thing to dance on a stage, but imagine dancing on a moving stage. Moving stage is going like this, it goes up like this, it goes down like that, you know, like this. Like, wow, you have to be a good dancer to sing that. It's going like this, like that, and then like this. And so Krishna likes a challenge. Every hero likes a challenge. If you're not a hero, you don't like. If you're not a hero, you don't like challenge. Challenge comes and you run away the other way. You put your tail. Your tail goes between your legs like a dog. You're afraid to fight. Tough dogs don't run away. So Krishna likes a challenge. So the gopis are fainted. So he took his flute. Okay. Gopis, well, oh, Krishna. Hey, Lalita, hey, Vishaka. Krishna's calling us. Out to that snake. Oh, I'm afraid of snakes. Me too. Wow. Okay, let's go. So the gopis run out there, and Krishna says, come on. And Krishna pulls her up on the snake. And they get up on the hoods. And they shout, okay, let's start. They had a Rasa dance on the hoods of Kaliya, right here. Sri Krsna Radharani ki Jai Jai Shri Radhe. So that's not all. There's more. So after Krishna, this is Sri Bhagavatamrita. Krishna didn't chase Kaliya away. So, it said, listen, Kaliya, I'll make you a deal. You can stay. I know you like Vrindavan, right? Yeah, I like Vrindavan. It's a really nice place. I don't want to go back to Rome, you know. I don't want to go back to London. I want to stay in Vrindavan. So Krishna said, listen, Kaliya, Kaliya. You know, I wouldn't ask you to leave, but on one condition: you have to do seva. If you're going to live in Vrindavan, you have to do seva. Seva? Seva me? Not me. I just eat fish and enjoy. I got my 100 wives. Oh, good time, you know. I got my hole there, and go my hole, do my thing. Everybody has a little snake hole, you know, a little apartment. Apartment's like a snake hole. So then Krishna, then Kali says, what do you want me to do? I want you to become my horse. Horse? Yeah. Look, your wives. I forgot to. But anyway, your wives. When I was dancing on you, your wives came and folded their hands, and said, "Please forgive us, forgive our husband." Because first, when Krishna started dancing on Kali's heads, the wives were cheering for Krishna. The wives of the Kaliya Maharaj were cheering for Krishna. Why were they cheering for Krishna? Because they didn't like their husband. They wanted Krishna to kill their husband. Good deal, huh? So the wives were praying, Krishna, stomp on that guy, kick him in the head, knock him down, kill him, knock him, finish, give him one for me, stomp him one time for me, and me too, me too. They're all praying like that, because he was a very nasty, he was a very snaky husband. He was very envious and, like not a good husband. So the wives wanted to, trade him in. Get a retread or whatever. But what happened as Krishna danced on Kaliya, he started throwing up. He started throwing up. And when he threw up, out came lust, out came greed, out came envy, anger, all anarthas. All anarthas, Maharaj came out as he vomited. His insides and blood and everything came out from inside his brain, inside his heart, inside his mind, inside his body. All came out, blah. And that he was becoming submissive. Because if we're full of greed, anger, lust, envy, we can't submit, we can't surrender. We're too puffed up, we're too controlled by Tamagun, Rajagun. So the Nagapatnis, the wives of Kali were praying, Krishna, kill this guy, finish him off. But as he became purified by contact with Krishna Bhakti, Krishna consciousness, which is what they say, Krishna consciousness, by contact with Krishna's lotus feet, dancing on his head, he became Pavitram, Mangalam, Bhavatam. He became full of bhav, and filled with purity and filled with auspiciousness. They surrendered. He bowed his heads down and Krishna, I surrender. And that time, the Nagapatnis, they started to think favorably towards their husband. And they started praying to Krishna. Krishna, our husband's become a devotee. Our husband is surrendering at your lotus feet. He's becoming a devotee. Now please accept him. So when the Nagapatnis were praying to Krishna, they were offering their jewels. Because snakes have a lot of jewels. So these wives had all big jewel boxes. They're offering so many jewels. So one jewel they offered Krishna was called Kaustubha money. Kaustubha money somehow ended up with them. It's a long story from Puranas. But at the time of Kaliya Madan Leela, the Nagapatnis offered Krishna Kaustubha money, which is a red jewel he wears around his neck, famous Kaustubha money, Vishnu and Krishna, Jai Radhe. So they offered the Krishna Kaustubha money, put it on. But while they're offering their jewels, Krishna reached down and took their cholis too. See that statue there? They're missing something. They're missing a key thing here. Should we reenact this lila now? What do you think? We should do a little lila drama here? Who's going to play Krishna? He's Govinda. His name is Govinda. So he's going to play Krishna. So no. Because they were offering the jewels, right? They're offering rubies. They're offering rubies and diamonds. He said, I don't like these jewels. I like those two jewels inside your treasure box of your choli.
Yeah.
What? So now we'll start the play. Start. Hey, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. So Krishna took their toys. So whenever Krishna does something, there's always two purposes to everything he does. There's at least two. Everything Krishna does always has two purposes. There's internal purpose and external purpose. So the internal purpose of Krishna stole the toys is why? What's the internal purpose? To see the jewels of the Nagapatnis. You heard that? What's the internal purpose?
To see the jewels of Nagapatnis.
To see the jewels of the Nagapatnis. Internal. They're inside the choli. Internal. 1, 2. Now what's the external purpose? External purpose. Boy, Bayer Karan. Because he took one choli and two cholis and three cholis and tied them together. He made a rope. He put the rope through the nose of Kalia. And became the reins of the horse. Then Krishna got on the hood of Kalia like a jockey on a horse. The horse race. You walk like a ballerina when you that's really good, So now he's got the choice and what he puts through the Kali nose, and he called the guys, okay, let's go for a ride. Where do you want to go? Let's go down the Yamuna. So okay, let's go. Boom. So he took his stick, Chucky has a stick, hit the horse. So he hit the guy. No. This is the world's first hovercraft. Hovercraft in England, across the English Channel from England to Paris, is called hovercraft. Hovercraft is a rubber boat with a motor, and it floats above the water. So Kali was the first hovercraft, and Krishna was the first driver, and the gopis were the first passengers. So Krishna said, where do you want to go? So Krishna went down to Mathura. Yeah, not quite to Mathura, just the end border of Vrindavan. Okay. And Kali turned around and sit back here. This is Vrindavan Tamrita by Snan Goswami. Sri Krsna Radharani ki jai jai Shri Radhe. So I got a lot of stuff written here about too lazy to read it. I just told what I remembered. Any questions? This is a great place of lila and fun talks and pastimes. Kali and the Kadamba tree, and Krishna, Kali, and the Kadamba tree. KKK. Kadamba Kanan Kanaraj. Maharaj. So KKK, triple K. Krishna, Kali, and Kadamba all happen here. Any questions? Sorry. Any questions?
What is the object of our envy?
What is the object of envy? Object or opposite? What does he say?
Object.
Object of envy is someone who has something more than you, something has something more than you have, or something you want. They become the object of your envy. You have a wife and you see a more beautiful girl, maybe you become envious of that guy that has that beautiful girl and say, wow, his wife is more beautiful than mine. Or you have a small car and see a guy at a stoplight has a Ferrari. You say, wow. You want that car, so you project some envy towards that guy. Envy means presence of envy means a lack of appreciation and a lack of love. Envy is the antithesis of love, because love brings appreciation and gratitude and all good qualities. Envy brings all destructive qualities. It brings competition, it brings fighting, it brings even murder. Murder is generated by envy. Envy creates blindness. Love gives vision. It's taught in this point is made in Brahma Samhita. What does he say about the power of prema? The beautiful verse in and Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji talks about the power of love vision of love. Premanchana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaksadeva Yeshu Vilokyanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunasruva Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. If your eyes are covered with love, you can see Krishna everywhere. 6:30 Gita. Yomam Pasiti Sarvatra Sarvam Shamai Pasiti
Nachaham na pranashyami.
Nacham na pranashami.
Sachamena pranashyati. Sachamena pranashyati. I am not lost to them, they are not lost.
What Krishna says in Gita chapter 6 verse 30, one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me is never lost to me and I never lost to him. They're like this. Because only a person can see like that is Radharani, gopis. So Radharani is always in the heart of Krishna and never lost to Krishna, and Krishna is always in the heart of Radharani, never lost to Radharani. So we have to be like Radharani. We have to always have Krishna in our heart, and we'll never be lost to Radharani or Krishna. 5,000-year-old tree, amazing. These were parrots living there. Vision, parrots, squirrels.
This like kund.
Ah, yes,
It's
nice.
a pot. It looks like a milk pot.
Yes,
So the nectar was in this side of the pot. The Guru came here from Smudramanto and churning the milk ocean. They got a pot of nectar, Mohini Murthy got a pot of nectar. And then Mohini Murthy gave the Guru flew down here and drank it all and cut the pot. See, look. This is the nectar pot that Mohini gave for the churning the ocean. The nectar is in that pot. See the pot? There's the mouth of the pot in the corner. There's just in the corner, all rocks, all debris. There was no stones around these trees, there's no grass. There's just all like garbage stuff, all plastic balls over the years. And this is an ancient carving of Kalia. So they put it here. It's all broken. It was a big piece. It's like big thing. There's some benches there. Just nice things. Little development, not much. Just enough so it still has Vrindavan touch. Kacha paka. Mostly kacha with little paka. Make it so it's nice improvement. But too much, it's not good. So this is good. Little weeds and datura plants and some trees and that's datura. Those guys ruin all the trees after God. This is the Samadhi of Prabodhananda Saraswati. It's a Samadhi in a Bhajan Kutir. He did bhajan here. Yamuna was flowing right here, right near. He was right near Yamuna. He moved here from Benares. He was living in Benares. He was formerly a Mayavadi sannyasi named Prakashananda Saraswati. He met Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya attracted him to the bhakti. He was a follower of Vaitavad, Brahmasya Jamukti. He was a big guru. So he got impressed by the association with Lord Chaitanya. He moved to Vrindavan to do bhajan. He wrote some very famous books. One is called Radharani Sudhanidhi. We give many classes on this book. It's all about the glories of Radharani's name and form and lilas. Another important book he wrote is Vrindavan Mahimamrita. Is that book in Russian?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice contribution. Most important book to read to fall in love with Vrindavan is Vrindavan Mahimamrita. If you want to fall in love with Radharani and become Radharani's servant, then you read Radharani Sudhanidhi. Radharani Sudhanidhi. It's in Hindi, Bengali, Russian also?
Yes.
Wow, that's great. So this is where those books were written. Those books were written here. So we often come every Kartik, whenever we gave class on Radharani Sudhanidhi, we would come here the day before, and we would come here to this place. This is the most important place for us. This place is important for Priyojana. Kadamachi and Kali is for Priyojana, for the goal of life, Sadhya. But for sadhana and Abhideya, it's important sadhu sangha and the teachings of the acharyas. So this is the most important place. Without Abhideya, without sadhana and practice, you never attain the goal. So we want to attain Krishna Kaliya or any lilas of Krishna Vrindavan. We need the mercy of great saintly persons. In Nityalila, Prabhupada Saraswati, some people say it's Tunga Vidya Sakhi. One of the Asta Sakhis of Radharani, Tunga Vidya. So this is his Samadhi in Bhajan Kutir. There's a picture of him meeting Lord Chaitanya, painting of him meeting Lord Chaitanya. In the background, Lord Chaitanya is standing there, and Prabhupada Saraswati is kneeling down. This tomb, this linga marks the Samadhi tomb of Prabhupada Saraswati. This is a very important point. So if you're studying Radharani Sudhanidhi or Vrindavan Mahimamrita, you come to this Samadhi because it's vibration, like I said yesterday in GSS. We're now meeting class, I don't know. His vibration is collected here. His thoughts, his meditation, his bhajan siddhi. Bhajan siddhi means he attained perfection in bhajan here in Braj. He attained prema here in Braj. He attained darshan Radharani here in Braj. Right here in his bhajan kutir. His bhajan kutir later became a place of his samadhi. So we'll do 3 times Parikrama and we'll go to the next place. Sri Prabhupada Saraswati Ki. Jai. So you should regularly take note of this place behind Kadamba, behind Kalya Ghat, they say. It's a Bhajan Stali and Samadhi of Prabhupada Saraswati. It's described in my Samadhi's book also.
Radhe Radhe. Krishna is on the lower left, and in front of him is Kaliya, and the 2 Nagapatnis were on the top, and 2 were inside the poshak, inside the dress. And
see,
in
the big deities on the left and right top are Naga, the wise of Naga.
Kaliya Nag, and the 2 other Nagapatnis were inside the dress, inside the dress. And Krishna is actually in this Vigraha is Kaliya actually surrounded Krishna with his snake, means he completely wrapped Krishna with him, and Krishna's one hand is holding the neck of Kaliya, and with the left hand he is holding and with the right hand he is about to beat him.
Yeah,
So that Vigraha is there here, and it is completely inside, means with the inside the dress.
I seen the whole thing because the old days in that dress.
Yes, Gurudev.
40 years ago.
And the original means the darshan of the deity will happen on Akshaya Tritiya day, this year 22nd April, and morning time around 5 o'clock, Abhishek time also we can have the darshan of the deities.
Rose.
Yeah, every day. It is 5,000 years old deity, Vajranabh's deity.
Vajra Prakat.
Yes.
Prakat. Stop it. Swaprakat, Swaprakat, Jamuna Fair. What does he say? Fear for Jamuna?
Yes, Gurudev, he's saying that only. Vajranabh acts bracket that 5,000 years back go.
He made or founded Jamuna?
Vajranabh जी ने बनाया है या
नहीं, स्थापित की है मूर्ति।
वजनाभ स्थापित किया, पर वो प्रकट हुआ है।
हाँ, जैसे प्रकट हुई है जमुना जी से।
हाँ।
जमुना जी से प्रकट हुई है। इसके बाद जो ठाकुर जी के पोते थे ब्रजनाभ, उनके द्वारा स्थापित मूर्ति है जी। किसी की आदमी की प्रतिष्ठा नहीं है जी, कृष्ण के पोते द्वारा स्थापित मूर्ति है जी।
This is the Prachin Mandir. It's about Purani Mandir. That's the original Mandir. See, look at the diwar. Look how thick the diwar. The walls are 3 feet thick. This is one room, that's the other room. There's 3 feet walls. See where you're standing? That's a wall. Yes, it's me. That's the width of the wall. It's this wide.
पुराना हुआ है, जो 800 पुराना है, 800 वर्ष।
That's so large.
800 वर्ष। बिहारी जी से बहुत पहले का है। मदन मोहन जी, कालिया मर्दन और राधा दामोदर, राधा रमण, गोपेश्वर महादेव जी ने स्थापित करवाई थी ब्रजनाभ में। उसी समय का मंदिर है।
Yeah, बहुत यात्री लोग बहुत कम है। Tell them.
यात्री लोग बहुत कम आते हैं ना यहाँ।
हाँ, यात्री कम लोग आते हैं, लोगों को मालूम नहीं।
हाँ।
लोगों को मालूम नहीं है, पुराना मंदिर नहीं देखते आजकल बिहारी जी, और प्रेम मंदिर देख के चले जाते हैं। पुराना मंदिर कौन देखता है?
हम भी 9 साल हो गए, हम भी कभी नहीं आया। पहले हमारे गुरुजी अभी दिखा रहे हैं 9 साल
आते रहते हैं इस्कॉन टेम्पल से, लोग आते रहते हैं। इस्कॉन से जितने भी होंगे वो जरूर पक्का यहीं आएंगे, इस्कॉन टेम्पल से जरूर आएंगे यहाँ पे।
So, okay, good. Kayamara Lila Ki Jai. Stone. That's the kitchen side. That's the dome. That's the Kirtan Mandap on the right hand side. Facing south. This is Rajesh, Sripad Rajesh Goswami. He's the Maharaj and the Acharya of this Mandir. Madan Gopal Mandir is the Vaitacharya Shakti Pit, Patmari. He's in charge. And this is
Advaitacharya Prabhu's lineage, 10th Acharya.
Where's microphone? Speak some Harikata. Hindi or English as you choose. You like Hindi, you speak Hindi.
Yeah. So this is the place before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Advaitacharya Prabhu came in this Vrindavan, and he was the first Acharya who came to Vrindavan. So minimum 600 years ago, Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu came to Vrindavan, and he took bhajan underneath this banyan tree. That's why this place is renowned as Advait Wat. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna's grandson Vajranabh constructed 3 deities. One of those 3 deities, Sri Radha Madan Mohanji, dreamed Advaitacharya Prabhu that I am underneath this place. Then Advait Prabhu found the deity of Madan Mohan also here. So this is also the Madan Mohan appearance place. And this deity of Madan Gopal, Sri Madan Mohanji ordered Advaitacharya Prabhu to go to Seva Kunj. And Advaitacharya Prabhu found the handmade painting of Lord Krishna by Vishaka Saki. And from that particular painting, Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu himself manifested this big deity of Madan Gopal and installed and served here. And he took that painting to Shantipur. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and through the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the 6 Goswamis came to Vrindavan and enlightened this Brajamandal. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Sri wrote Chaitanya Charitamritam also here. This is the starting place of Chaitanya Charitamritam. and finished Radha Kund. This is the starting place of Chaitanya Charitamrita. এই গ্রন্থ লেখায় মোর মদন মোহন দিহাই. Yes, through the order of Sri Radha Madan Mohanji, I can write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is the starting place of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in the left hand side you can take darshan Advaita Acharya Prabhu lineage. 10th Acharya, Sri Vijay Krishna Goswami and his wife, Sri Yogmaya Ma. And in the upper portion, Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu's old deity, ancient idol of Advaita Acharya Prabhu and Sita Ma in the upper portion, upper altar. And this is the brief history about this place. And this is the importance and Mahatmya of this place. In Bhakti Ratnakar we find who will ever just he will if anybody will take darshan once in a life, then he will not come in this material world. Rebirth was finished. This is the importance, Mahatmya. This is the Radha Madan Gopalji's importance. So, Jai Shri Radha Madan Gopal Lal ki, Shri Advaita Prabhu ki, Shri Advaita Vat ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhesh.
Shri
Thank you.
Maharaj Goswami Maharaj ki.
उनकी जय में सब मदन गोपाल जय था.
Chakra, Chak.
Jaya Nityanandaram, Nityanandaram, Jaya Nityanandaram, Nityanandaram.
Decoration, ornamentation. So regular Madhurarati, Madhurarati means amorous love, man-woman love. It's called Madhurarati. But when Krishna, Shringarati is also amorous love, but it only applies to the gopis. The term Shringarati is not used to describe the queens of Dwarka or the queens of Vaikuntha, Lakshmis, although they have amorous, loving relationship with Narayan or Vishnu or Dwarkadish Krishna in Dwarka. It's called Madhurati Bas. But the Madhurati in Vrindavan is called Shringarati because this rati, this intense loving, amorous loving attachment of the gopis for Krishna decorates, Shringar means decorates, it decorates and ornaments everything about their being. It decorates their mind, their intelligence, their heart, their bodies, everything is Shringar. Everything is Shringarati. So Shringarati is a very rasic term to describe the specific love of the gopis for Krishna Vrindavan. It's called Shringarati, which means Madhurati, means amorous love, conjugal love, not conjugal means married. Amorous love, word conjugal means married love. Amorous love means free love. Free love, man, woman love. No bounds, no relationship, no formal relationship, no bounds. It's boundless, endless love and endless love and boundless love. So why is this place demarcated? Because this original place in the Yamuna sand where Radharani sat on some tree stump or whatever, this was not here, but this is the actual place. That's why that part is shaped like a singhasan. It's like these are arms and that's a backrest. And Radharani's facing Yamuna, and Krishna sat behind her and brushed her hair because she came here in Madan during Rasleela. So this place commemorates the actual location of this Kesh Leela where Krishna became a humble servant. Krishna became a humble servant of Radharani. That makes him happier than anything. become Radharani's servant. Like the servants always want to serve the master, but the master's greatest happiness is to serve the servants. So, because service is the greatest happiness, that's why Krishna became Mahaprabhu. He said, Radharani's experienced 1,000 times more happiness by serving me than I'm experiencing by getting a service. I'm supposed to be the enjoyer. She's the enjoyed, but she's enjoying me more than I am enjoying her. How is it possible? This is an inconceivable power of spiritual love. Material life is all mixed with selfishness, but spiritual life is all mixed with selflessness. Less, the self is less, it's invisible, it can't be, independent will and independent desire can't be seen there, either in Krishna or in the gopis. It's amazing. This is called Shringarvat because there was a banyan tree here. The big banyan tree is Vat, and Shringar means his Madhurati decorating. So Krishna's physically decorating Radharani, brushing her hair and putting little bokul flowers in her hair, little tiny bokul flowers, and brushing her hair, and Radharani's holding a mirror, and a very nice scene. And he's also, by doing that seva, by doing that loving service and amorous mood of sweetness, he's decorating her heart with he's decorating her heart with all his pure loving feelings. So it's called Shringarati. This is called Shringar Stali, where Krishna, with his Shringarati, Krishna decorated Radharani, his Premashraya. Sri Krsna Radharani ki, Shringarvati ki. So now we'll see a painting that commemorates this lila. Shringarvat, which is also called Nityananda Vat, because Nityananda came to visit Vrindavan. This is the last place he was living here, in this place on the bank of Yamuna 500 years ago. And he was waiting here for Lord Chaitanya, 25 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and then he was absorbed in study and arguing and debating philosophy and whatnot. He wasn't ready to start chanting Hare Krishna or do preaching. So Nityananda took a tour of India, like Balaram. During Kurukshetra battle, Balaram didn't want to take part, because Balaram trained Bhima in club fighting, and Balaram also trained Duryodhan. And the Kaurava's side was Duryodhan, on the Pandava's side was Bhima. So they're both fighting with clubs. And Balaram taught both of them. So if he was there in the battle of Kurukshetra, Duryodhan would say, "You're my teacher, please fight for my team." And then Bhima would say, "You're my teacher, please fight for my team." So it's two students would fight over who gets the teacher. So then he stayed away to avoid the fight. It's good to avoid fights. So he went on a tour all over India, all the holy places he went. He went to Hardware, Rishikesh, everywhere Balaram went, everywhere Nityananda went. He finally came to Brajmandal, Mathura Mandal. He bathed the Vishnu God in Mathura and saw Keshwara and went at one Brajmandal Parikrama. And he came here to Yamuna to Vrindavan. He stayed in Nityananda Vat. Then he got the news, because people were going back and forth to Vrindavan, couriers and SMS people. He got the news that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has now started a Sankirtan movement. So now he had to join, Chaitanya had to join Nitai. So Nityananda left this place, he went to Navadvip, and where did he stay? Where did he stay in Navadvip? He hid himself in somebody's house. Nandanacharya's house in Navadvip. He hid himself there. So he wanted to discover whether Chaitanya would know he was there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said one day, said, listen, a great Avadhuta has come here to Navadvip Mando. He's living now in Navadvip. You should go find him. His name is Nityananda Avadhut. So go find him. I want to meet him. He's going to join me. We're going to inaugurate Nam Sankirtan Yagya. From Vijayate Sri Krsna Sankirtan. Muralika. From Vijayate.
Sri Krsna Sankirtan.
Thank you. So he hid himself in Nandacharya's house, Nitai. And the devotees went all around and looked and said, Nitai Khan, Nitai Khan. They didn't know what to do. They came back to Lord Chaitanya and said, he's not in Navadvip. We can't find him. And Chaitanya Maharaj said, really? I'll show you. Started a kirtan party. So they started a kirtan party, and they went out in the evening time around this time, started walking down the road along the Ganga in Navadvip. And they walked down at Hare Krishna, all that stuff. A big kirtan. And then they walked into Nandacharya's house. And Lord Nityananda was inside. He said, oh, Lord Chaitanya discovered me. Chaitanya discovered me. So Nityananda came out and he said, Gaur! It's in Chaitanya Bhagavat, the meeting of Nitai and Gaur. And Nitai said, Gaur, and Gaur said, Nitai. And he said, Gaur, he said, Nitai, Gaur, Nitai, Gaur, Nitai. And that's how the chanting of Gaur Nitai started. The first chanters of Gaur Nitai were Gaur Nitai. Their first meeting, I say, Yashaswini. They say, Maharaj. Yashaswini, Maharaj. So new mantra starts. Jaya Maharaj, Jaya Yashaswini. No, Shakti first, then Shaktiman. Jaya Yashaswini, Jaya Maharaj Ji. No, Jaya Yashaswini, Jaya Maharaj Ji. Jaya Yashaswini, Jaya Maharaj Ji. So that's how they started. He said, Gaur, Nitai, Gaur, Nitai. They all know he's saying, okay. The guy started playing the Gaur Nitai, Gaur Nitai, Jaya Gaur Nitai, Jaya Gaur Nitai. They were all crazy with the Gaur Nitai mantra. Even to this day, 500 years later, people still go crazy by saying Gaur Nitai. Gaur Nitai, Haribo, Gaur Nitai, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. So that's the meeting. This is why it's called Nityananda. In this temple, there's deities of Chaitanya and Nitai, Gaur Nitai. And it's a very beautiful place, Sringarvat. It's a place of Mother Rati. So we like to see all places connected with Mother Rati. And special places like Kaligat, and special Prachin Murti. There's round, Goli.
Yes, round.
So no Madanga shaped Javamal.
Yes,
Goli.
round.
दर्शन हो गया?
Yeah, oh yeah, well done.
अब now you change your dress?
I was sannyasi before Mahanidhi Swami.
Oh.
And I took Babaji race in 2014 from Pandit Sri Krsna Radharani. He is from Vrindavan. The Bengali Pandit, lived to be 101 years old. He's a big Pandit, Pandit Sri Krsna Radharani. He gave me the name Madan Gopal.
Madan Gopal.
Madan Gopal Das. And Babaji raised stood for the So ISKCON Jordi. 38 years ISKCON.
38 corner after this Mirarakund.
Yes, Radharani, I'm there 15 years. I was living in Radha Damodar, 1989, 1992, 3 years. I lived in Radha Damodar Mandir. So I know you very well. I saw you many times here.
Now where now living?
In Rajasthan since 2002.
2002 now.
20 years in
And
Rajasthan.
where?
Ramchandra Gera.
Ramchandra. Oh, okay. After you make a temple.
Yeah, Giraj Mandir.
Giran Mandir. How many devotees living there?
Just me and Chokidar.
You talking but devotee, how many living there?
Kayla,
Kela? Ah, no, very good.
Shanti,
Shanti.
hey, Bhoganaya, everything. So she's.
तो यहाँ पर भी शांति है वृंदावन में all are हो बढ़िया शांति no crowd.
It's quite shanti.
You sending mala anytime everybody is thinking very peace. Night time very good.
Yeah.
Night time if you're sitting here, so everything very nice. Night time very good. Radharani daily come here. Radharani daily come here. Krishna daily come here. This place 3 hours. Radha Krishna here. Niduman, Nikunjman, Singapore. This daily come.
Yeah, true. Rashida,
Raslila.
you want to pull in, go into God, all this area.
Going to Niduman, this to Niduman, this is middle Radha Damodar. So Prabhupada living Radha middle Radha Damodar is middle, Singapore is middle. First time we come here, but nobody not give place. My father give place Radha Damodar. That time my father is in charge of Radha temple.
अच्छा,
उस समय मेरे पिताजी दामोदर के इंचार्ज थे उन्होंने दिया था उन पर रहने के लिए मैं उनको खूब खाना देता था प्रसाद देता था जी बहुत सारे
simple. He said, you put this on a stick. You see, you put it on your mount.
this stick.
You mount on a stick. You carry it in front of your Sankirtan party. Everybody say, this is authorized by the Nawab, by the king. So nobody will touch you, nobody will disturb you. This is my official seal.
Jaya Nityanandara, Nityanandara. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Nitai, Jai Gurudev.
Right around here in this same place. Jaromando, I think it's called, which means sweeping. But what it was is there was a lady was grinding wheat. She had a grinding stone. You put a stick on it, you turn it, and it grinds wheat. And at the same time, nearby, there were a bunch of sadhus having Bhagavad Katha, Bhagavad Sapta every day. It was going, it was making noise. It was disturbing the Bhagavad Sapta because they had no microphones in those days. It was 300 years ago or something. And so they said, so the Babaji did, but she was like, old lady, she was deaf or something, couldn't hear. So they tried to complain to her, but she was grinding wheat for seva, for Thakurji's seva. So she was grinding wheat to make flour, making homemade flour with one stone on the bottom, one stone on top. And we put this wheat in between the stones and grind it. So the sadhus weren't very happy, but the lady didn't pay attention to them. She kept doing her seva. So they kept speaking Bhagavatam, she kept doing seva. So Krishna doesn't like to see devotees distressed. So Krishna came and put his foot on her wheel. He put his foot on her wheel and stopped her grinding wheel. And the grinding wheel has Krishna's footprint on it. And you can still see that today. That's why it's called Siddhapit, because she had Saksha Darshan of Krishna. Krishna came and said, stop! The same guy she was worshiping, making the flower for, said, you're making the flowers nice, but you're disturbing my Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is my very heart. You're serving my stomach. This holy flower is for my rotis, for my stomach. This Bhagavad Gita is for my heart. So don't do this anymore. Now you don't have to grind flour anymore. You don't have to do sweeping anymore, because this stone will become so famous. You get so many donations, you don't have to work anymore. So you can retire for the rest of your life and just collect money giving darshan. of the Jaro Mandal. I think Jaro means stick, actually. The stick, there's a stick, you turn the stone, you put a stick in the stone, the vertical stick. Mandal means circle. So you hold the stick and you turn around like this, you know. So the stone is there, so how are you going to turn it? So it has to have a handle. So it goes. I had one.
You have it at home.
I had one in the house. So Haridas's wife, first we got the two stones from Rajasthan. The two all cut up stone, hammered, designed for grinding. And it has a hole in it, we got a stick. And his wife had to make so out of cow dung and hay, busa, she made a mixture and made a trough around the stone. Because the stone, you grind it, and the flour falls out the outside, the edges of the stone. It just goes on the ground. So she built a trough, she built a stand out of cow dung, and it dries and becomes hard. And then the top was like a mushroom, it looked like a mushroom. It's coming out like a mushroom. It went out like that. And then the stone was in the middle of this cow dung walls, boundary walls. So when you grind it, then all the flour goes in the trough, and there's a spigot, like a yoni, like a Shiva Linga yoni. And then you just put a pan under there, a bowl, and go like this with your hands, and put all the flour in the bowl. So we got the stones. So we put in the whole wheat flour, the whole wheat grains inside. So we go to grind it. So I said, I'll do the first thing. Oh, I couldn't move it. I said, I went to it. If I said, get out of the way, I'll do it. Rah! His wife took it to and all the flour comes out. I said, okay, you do it. I'll make the rotis. So this is the place of that lila, I believe so.
Yugala Kishora Jivane Madan Nigati Arona
So we're walking on these narrow streets of Sevakunj area, and these are very beautiful streets. And these are all footpaths through forests during Krishna's time, and even Lord Chaitanya's time. These weren't big wide roads with stones, and there's just dirt paths through the forest. So they had and they have still names like gully means small narrow path. So the streets have names here even today. Like if someone says, how do I get to my house? Well, you go to Sevakunj, you turn left on Mangoli, and go straight, then you turn right on Dangoli. Then you go straight on Dangoli, turn right on Premgali. Side.
I stopped.
Okay, good. So all the streets have really rustic names because they're lilas. Like, why is it called Dangoli? Because Radharani is coming to go this way to Yamuna and Krishna attacks. Why is it called Mangoli? Because Radharani is in Man. And so all these, every street has a Krishna lila behind it. And where you live in the West, you live on Main Street, First Avenue, Second Avenue, Ocean Road. I lived on Ocean Road. It went from the ocean into the mountains, Ocean Road. Very creative. But these are all, everything's here lila, everything's Udivan, reminding of lila. These are 5,000-year-old streets, what we call streets or gullies, with names Prem Gully, Man Gully, Dan Gully, Kuja Gully. This is Raj, you know. I remember when I met somebody who lived over here. They said, where do you live? You know Sevakunj? Yeah. You know that street? That's called Dan Gully. I said, okay. Go down Gully till it ends and turn left, that's Prem Gully. Go Prem Gully till it ends and turn right, and that's Man Gully. I said, okay, wow. I got so absorbed in the leaders, I forgot where your house is. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Brajyatra Ki. Sorry. is Paramasi Gauralila?
Sita Devi.
Who is Sita Devi in Krishna Lila? Thank you. It's very G, very beautiful D. Usually out on the streets, you walk by and have a rushing out there. On the corner where you're going before, that's where she was before. Where you were going, that's where she was. You were out the end of the building, that was the temple. But they all got developed, they got a bunch of money, they built this whole thing and put it here. You're probably D for ashram. People wouldn't come from there, I'll start this. It's amazing because Sita Devi is there before Masi is here. Because Yogamaya Paramasi is Sita Devi, Awaida's wife, and Krishna Lila. So people say, can Awaitacharya give Manjari Bhav, Madhurya Bhav? And that's that way, Yogamaya and Paramasi. You give anything. Yogamaya makes all arrangements for all Lila and all entrance to Krishna Lila, it's like Yogamaya. So we're in good shape with Awaita and Paramasi and Yogamaya and Sita Devi. Nidai Gaur Sitarad. Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Paramasi Ma Ki Jai. This is a family temple. Sita Devi and Awaita.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari Jaya, Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari.
Bihari Kunj Bihari Jai Jai Shri Haridas Dulare, Rama Pyare Kunj Bihari Jai Jai Shri Haridas Dulare, Rama Pyare Kunj Bihari Jai Jai Shri Haridas Dulare, Rama Pyare Kunj Bihari Jai Jai Shri Haridas Dulare, Rama Pyare Kunj Bihari Jai Jai Shri Haridas Dulare, Rama Pyare Kunj Bihari Jai Jai Shri Haridas Dulare, O Rama Pyare.
Center. He's like this, right? Like the Srinathji. On one side, on his left hand side, is Chari offering a garland, and right hand side is Simunadi offering a lotus garland. So this group down there is probably followed, Chari's followed. That's why Haridas followed. They're in big Yamuna bhajans and puja. These bhajans are a little more relaxed. That's high powered. I mean, this is Rasya Kirtan. It's full of Ras, all Brajvasi tunes and beautiful poetry. Actually, it's Hindi, I think.
Our song, Prabhupada's favorite song.
It's live or is it tape?
Live.
Guy's got a great voice, man. This is beautiful, huh? Nauka Vihar. Imagine gopis on a boat with Krishna. Gopis pushing with sticks. They're rowing like that guy's rowing. And Krishna has lying, some gopis massaging his feet. And Krishna's on this side of the boat. His head's on his lap. As they're rasa dancing over a boat ride. Moon shines on their faces. And it's all quiet, so manjris are playing Estaraj. Manjris are playing Estaraj and Venas and Mridangas and singing, gopis are singing bhajan. And some gopis fanning Krishna and massaging his feet.